You already know what it is. It's your boy Lightwalker X here, back with another video. And man, metric music lovers are going out sad. They truly miserable as hell. It must suck to listen to music using metrics and not your ears, because you're probably going through a very unfortunate time right now. But I'm gonna just continue to make videos on music botting in the industry and then why people care so much about these numbers until this is not a thing anymore. And to be honest, I think this is always going to be a thing, because people are always going to be idiotic and think like this, using stats that don't do anything for them as ways to figure out what to listen to as opposed to just listening to music. That's always going to be a thing. So I'm going to be here forever talking about this pretty much. So sit back and relax, because we got another example of this outlandish behavior that we're seeing here. Now, let me give a good shout out to Charles Brown or Cals Brown. I apologize if I'm saying that wrong. I've seen your tweets come across my Twitter every now and then, and you do be saying some nice stuff. So I did see this tweet the other day. Pretty much he said, why do we need to see the record sales every single day? Every day? Just curious. All this good music coming out and all y'all post is the same sales list of the same rappers every single day. This is a problem. Y'all never discuss the music, always discuss the effing record sales. Get back to hip hop. This is whack. And I 100% agree. I've actually said this sentiment in other videos of mine as well, when I have talked about people's obsession with stats and numbers and stuff. And it's just a constant reminder every single day, since these hip hop pages were created, that it's stats. Nothing about the music, right? They even have whole accounts dedicated to just talking about numbers. And it's like, this is insane. But the repetition of these stats, these numbers that are constantly being thrown in your face, it has brainwashed you guys into thinking that this is the only way you guys can consume music. In my opinion, I think it's a terrible way to try and listen to music or see what's good. And I have always said this in the many times that I've talked about body and people's obsession with numbers. It's one thing to celebrate the stats of an artist that you really like. That's one thing. But to then use those stats as if they're your own as proof as to why this artist is better, or why this side of music is better, or why this music matters and the other side doesn't, that doesn't hold any weight, especially when every person that is obsessed with numbers is most likely accusing another artist of faking their numbers, which if numbers can be faked, then they really don't mean nothing. But to these delusional people, they think only the artists I dislike are faking their numbers and the artists I like have authentic numbers. What type of delusional mentality is this? It's sad, because I feel like a lot of you guys that think this way are truly below the ages of 14, right? But if you are grown, which I have seen some people who are grown and think this way, you're cooked. Your mentality is cooked. Whether you're trolling or rage baiting or you genuinely feel this way, you are cooked. Because what happened to actually just enjoying the lyrics, the production, the sound, the effort that was put into the body of work? I've said this many times. Kendrick Lamar could have sold 400 copies for To Pimp a Butterfly, and it would still be my favorite hip hop album of all time, because it is. It's tied with My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy for me. To Pimp a Butterfly could have sold 200 copies, could have sold 10 copies, and I would still think it's the greatest album ever, because that is my opinion. That is what I got from listening to the album back to back, repeatedly, nonstop, until I said, yo, this is my favorite hip hop album. It had nothing to do with the stats. Now, Kendrick can go drop a damn, right, and sell 600,000 plus copies. And yeah, for sure, we want to celebrate that, because that's cool. But at the end of the day, he could sell more than Drake that year, and it doesn't mean anything to me. Even with artists that I like, I don't look at it that way, and I never have. So when the beef happened and I seen a lot of these stands, a lot of these fan pages, and a lot of these podcasters and media personalities, streamers, etc., they're pushing the stream mentality, and they're not talking about the music. And it's almost as if you guys can't talk about the music. That's very sad, right? From a time where I come from, we would just listen to the songs, and if they were good, they were good. I remember buying some of my first hip hop CDs, and I never cared about what the sales were. Why? Because I'm not getting paid. The sales only matter to the A&Rs, the label, and the artists. You guys can go celebrate the fact that Drake sold how many copies here or sold how many first weeks there, but nobody cares. Literally, no one cares about these stats outside of these stan groups and these fan pages. They're the only ones that push this mentality. And it's like, we don't really care. Now, of course, the clips sold, I believe it was about 100,000 plus first week or whatever. That's cool. And reason why people want to celebrate that is because it's a sign that the times are changing, that it's real hip hop being appreciated. The people who put good effort into their music, of course, people want to see that be celebrated and be successful. So we would have celebrated the clips regardless. But the fact that they put so much effort into that album and they went through so many troubles to get it out, and they put it out and it sold 100,000, that is really good, and we should celebrate that. Now, we're not using that album or its sales to say, yeah, this is better than that or that. No, you want to know how we compare what is better? We have discussions about the music. That is the only way to do it. This whole numbers thing is just irrelevant in my opinion. And on top of that, right, most of these people that are doing this are so obsessed with narratives and just perception. They're gonna go tweet about the numbers in your comments, and they're gonna go buy likes to make sure that you look like you're getting ratioed. I've seen it all, and I can't believe that this is very much a thing, and it's happening every single day online. So it's just a sign that maybe we shouldn't be talking about music online, because most of you are incapable of having a conversation about the music. So this doesn't stem from me saying, oh, my favorite artists are not performing as well, so that's why I'm making this video. That's why I have this perspective. You guys got to stop with the cope. Stop with the same belief system that you guys have, that when people call out the shenanigans of obsessing over numbers, you think those same people are miserable because the artists they like aren't selling as much as the artists you like. I could care less what the artists I like sell. I really don't. I really could care less. Same thing with the artists I dislike. I do not care. That's cool. But if they're not selling, that's for their label and their manager and everyone else on their side to worry about, not me. It doesn't pay me. But if you look in these comments, it's just unhinged individuals just trying to justify the delusions. It's okay for you guys to feel that way, but we're going to call you out, and we don't feel the same. Stop assuming we feel the same. They look at it like everybody listens to music the same way I do. So everybody values numbers the same way I do. So because they're talking about people being obsessed with numbers, they must be miserable. That mentality is so lazy. And that's how I realized that a lot of people who have this mentality aren't built for real discussions. They have to deflect. They have to take it elsewhere. They have to get personal, be disrespectful, because they can't handle real discussions. If we were to actually have a face-to-face discussion with one of these foolish stands, to the point where you actually have to sit here and you leave when we come to a mutual understanding or agree to disagree, they would hate that. They'd be tweaking, they'd be screaming, they'd be shaking, foaming at the mouth, because they can't take it to a place where we're gonna defer from the conversation. They just have to get disrespectful. They gotta get personal. And if it's online, 9 times out of 10, they're gonna do that to divert you from your point and then block you. So it's like the whole discourse is toxic. It's repetition. It's brainwashing to an extent, because all you're seeing is numbers, stats. That's all you're obsessed with. And a lot of this is stemming from Cardi B dropping her latest album, Am I Drama? Right? Because apparently Cardi B put some older songs on this album that were put out quite a while ago. I think WAP, which came out in 2020, was also put onto this album. So a lot of people who are metric obsessed, especially you know who's, the OV hoes, were going insane. They haven't listened to the album probably, but they're going berserk at the fact that her numbers now, due to her putting the older songs on the album, are even higher. And this is Cardi B. As far as I'm concerned, she didn't diss Drake. She didn't, have any beef with him on this album. She didn't use him for the rollout or anything like that. But they're so numbers obsessed that they now hop over to that fan base and are now going back and forth with them to slight Cardi B due to her putting the older songs on the album. Now, you can say what you want about that, right? You can say it's a cheat code or whatever. I don't really care. To me, we have to stop looking at artists that we may not like and be mad at them for being strategic. Cardi B putting an older song on her album, you could say that's lazy. You could say that's a cheat code. You could say all of that. But in her perspective, in her label's perspective, in her team, that is a strategic move, right? And now look, it paid off because the album is selling more, because that's what the label wants. So we have to stop looking at artists being strategic and say, oh no, they're just cheating. The same thing with the bundle packaging and stuff like that. To my knowledge, the bundle situation is if you sell a t-shirt or a merch item or something exclusive that's attached to the rollout of your album, if you buy that instead of buying the CD or whatever, then that counts as a purchase for your album. That counts as one sale. So people will be like, oh, they use bundles to get 400K first week. But here's me thinking this. If somebody wanted to spend 30 to 40 extra dollars on merch, t-shirts, wristbands, whatever it may be that you're selling, isn't that also good? Isn't that a good thing that they're spending more money on the artist? So to discredit that is kind of odd in my opinion, because they're still putting money in the artist's pocket. And if anything, probably spending more than they would on the album. So they can count and they should count. But an artist that's using bundles to sell more You could say that's a cheat code, like I've said. You could say that's a lazy move, but it's strategic. And all these artists are gonna do strategic moves to make sure that they're still successful. So we could try to slight them, but you just look very stupid doing that, in my opinion, because it's the industry. You guys brag about other artists selling less compared to the artists that you like, but then when the artist that you don't like sells more, then you're now getting mad at them for all the reasons why they probably sold more. So what do you guys want? You want to be able to express your delusions without any pushback. That's exactly what it is. And this numbers thing, I can't wait for it to end. And I don't know if it ends anytime soon, right? So I'm going to be here until it does, but I can't wait for it to end and for people to grow up and actually have real hip hop discourse, real music discourse. Can we just get back to that, right? Because this whole stat thing is so irritating going on online every day to see you guys do this back and forth, back and forth. And it's like, come on, guys, like the music is there. Just listen to the music. Some of these people who are complaining are getting tons of music from their favorite artists, and they're still out here arguing about narratives and sales of other artists that they don't like. Make it make sense. And to me, to be honest, I think some of these stan pages and stan groups and stan people in general that do this are just being more of a hindrance to the artists that they claim to love. And that's just my opinion. Like, if you really like the artists you like, stop trying to come up with narratives as to why the music isn't doing as good because you're so obsessed with the metrics, and go listen to the music. Don't sleep listen. Don't go play it overnight just to increase the stats. Listen to the music. And if it isn't hitting, maybe that's why it's not selling. It's just that simple. Come on, guys. Like, we have to stop coming up with narratives and conspiracies and stuff like that. Listen to the music that you're getting from the artists that you like. And if you don't like an artist, don't entertain them. But you guys have to. And why? Because you didn't mature yet. And it's a sad situation because some of these people are older, some of them are younger. Either way, all you guys are cooked. If you have this mentality, you are cooked. There is no ands, ifs, or buts. You can get in the comments. You can try to say, oh, you're just mad about numbers and this and that, blah, blah. You lose numbers. I explain myself perfectly. But if you come into the comment section defending the mentality of listening to metrics, you are a part of the problem and you are proving my point. I already know. I've seen it in my comment sections. I've seen it in other comment sections. You guys say the same things. It's the same 5 to 6 things. Continue proving me right by adding in your perspectives as to why you think this delusional mentality is right. Because it is not. It is not. I'm telling you that right now. I'm not going to be a channel that's going to just say, oh, yo, maybe there's a way. No, it completely is wrong. And I don't care. I will stand on that because this mentality is ruining hip hop, it's ruining music, and it's ruining just enjoying things in general. Like, we can't enjoy anything. The internet is a horrible place, but now it's even more horrible because you guys just make it even more insufferable. So stop. Just stop. Delete your accounts. Just keep quiet. Know yourself, which I know no one has ever told you, and stop entertaining grown-up conversations if you can't handle it. Stop entertaining them if you aren't a grown-up yourself. And I'm talking about mentality as well. So you guys let me know what you think down below. If you listen to music using metrics and not your ears, I feel so sorry for you. And I already know you're living a very insufferable life because you have to go online and, get in, debates with people about who's selling more and why they're better, blah, blah, blah. The numbers are just a reflection of the people that want to listen, blah, blah. It's the same stupid script you guys use. And it's just very upsetting. Like, I see these people try to justify the numbers. Why listening to music using numbers is important. It means that people actually listen to the artists. But then in that same breath, you're going to go and say one artist is botting. So how does that work? The two things can't be true here, right? So you guys got to decide which delusions you're going to go with. Is it going to be A or is it going to be B? We'll have to wait and see. I was actually going to say, I would rather choose C, none of the above, but then it just works so perfectly. What can I say? So you guys let me know what you think down below about this foolish mentality and all these people who are ruining music discourse with every tweet and every word they type. You guys let me down below. I'm sick of it. I can't wait for it to end it. And if it doesn't, well, we're going to be here a long time because I will keep going until it does. So you guys let me know what you think down below. I hope you guys all have a wonderful day. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe for more. Hit that bell for notifications and stay blessed and stay tuned.
Tell me, I don't want to talk on no selling. You know I got language barriers. There's no accent you can sell me. You're cold and ivory, I'm a selfish. The crown is heavy. I pray they ain't my real friends. If not,